Hey family, welcome to the Hub. Today, I have Robyn and Ricky from North Carolina. Come on and raise up. They're not going to take their shirt off, but we are so excited to have Robyn and Ricky, who just celebrated their 5th anniversary. Let me tell you, this young and sprucey couple, come on now, age ain't nothing but a number. We have a financial analyst. We have a correctional lieutenant retired from the military. The two of them found love online. So let's go ahead and welcome this wonderful couple. What's up, y'all?
Hey.
So happy to have you, Soror. And Robyn is of the elite and illustrious Sigma Gamma Rho Sorority Incorporated. Welcome. So tell us. All right, from the beginning, two single people. What was single life like before you got online? Tell us a little bit about that, guys. What was that like?
You want to go first? Oh, okay. Well, for me, single life was a single mom of 14 years. I have 2 daughters. One is 20 now, almost 21, and 22 years old. And my life was busy. Between work and the two of them. And I just always had this thing, I didn't just want to bring anybody into their lives. I was always very protective, 1, because I had girls, and 2, really, I just didn't have the time. But it came a point where my daughters were the ones that were saying, "Mommy, you need a boyfriend, or you should start dating." But the first thought in my mind was, because of my busyness and work and everything else, how was I gonna find someone?
Right.
Because of the fact that I didn't have a chance to really go out. Mind you, when I moved here to North Carolina, which has been some years now, I moved here without any family. So if anyone was going to watch my children, 9 times out of 10, it was going to be me. So I didn't take them to just anybody's house. I kept my children with me. So how was I going to date? I couldn't leave them home alone. They were still too young at that time. And so when my daughters mentioned me dating, they even mentioned find someone online. And I thought that has got to be the craziest thing ever, because how on earth am I going to do that? I got to make up a profile. And so they were the ones that actually showed me and taught me what to do. They told me, how to go up and pick a nice picture. And so it kind of became a little family thing. And my daughter's helping me choose a picture and what to put up and all that. So that was basically how it started for me.
Okay. So what about you, Ricky?
My life was pretty much carefree. I was just out there dating. So, and after a while, I guess I got tired of dating. So I saw her picture and she caught my eye, and it took it from there.
Oh snap! Okay. You picked the right picture, girl. You picked the right picture.
I guess we did.
So how long were you guys like on the apps before you actually met? How long were you on the app, Ricky, or any apps before you found her? And then the same for you, Robyn.
For me, probably about 3 or 4 years, probably.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And for me, it was just a couple of weeks, actually. It was just
a couple of
weeks, only because I wasn't so sure if I really wanted to do it. Because to be honest, like most of us have heard, that's when you meet all the crazies, and you're not going to have good choices. And so I said I was going to try it, but it wasn't like I was really into it when I did it. I put the information out there, but then when I realized I started getting responses and everything, I was like, oh, okay, let me check it out and see what's going on here and who's, looking at my pictures and stuff like that. And so it was only a few weeks, and then I saw Rick's picture. But the funny thing about Rick's picture was, and I still laugh about it today, He put the most unusual picture up because, most people try to put their best foot forward. They put their best picture up. Here, I'm trying to get my best picture up. I think he probably put his worst picture up.
Well, I didn't think it was my worst picture at the time. I guess it's I was trying to be funny, I guess.
Yeah, because he had on like an old t-shirt. He had on like these raggedy jeans, and he had a frying pan in his hand. I wouldn't say it was the worst picture. It was very unconventional. Because he had a frying pan in his hand, and his slogan was "Breakfast anyone," right? So I thought, well, I guess that's kind of cute, if I want to go have breakfast with somebody or whatever. But I thought, well, he didn't really like put himself together like he really wanted, to get a lot of hits or anything. However, I did learn that you can't just look at the picture. You gotta read all the comments or what the profile says. So I did read his profile, and I have always been one who liked tall men. And his profile said that he was 6'6". That was the catcher for me. Some little things on his profile, but that was the catcher. I said, okay, well, he looks kind of funny holding his frying pan. He's not really dressed. He's probably tall and lanky and kind of corny or whatever. But that 6'6" caught my eye.
Hey, 6'6". So, so your first date. Well, before the first date, did you guys like get on the phone? Did you chat on the app? Like, do you remember what was that interaction, Ricky, for you? Like, did you reach out? Tell us a little bit about that.
I remember the first time she came to my apartment. I told her that I like Doritos. And didn't you show up with like a basket and it had Doritos and some other stuff in it?
And they had to be red Doritos.
So yeah, that was our first interaction, and it went well.
Yeah. So you guys did not get on the phone first and all that? Like you met in person straight from the app?
No, we actually did. We communicated first on the app.
Right.
And I think the thing that caught my eye with him after the funny picture and everything in the 6'6" was he had asked me one day, he said something about, can you make a pair of jeans holla? And I thought, well, okay, he's got a sense of humor at least. He may look tall and linky and goofy, but he's got a sense of humor. So I said, oh yeah, I can make a pair of jeans holla. Hey. So the good thing, it worked out where I worked at that time was probably less than 10 minutes from where he lived. Yeah. And so he started inviting me over for lunch because he worked at night. So he would come home in the morning, and that was the other thing. We were trying to figure out how we were going to meet each other because when I got off of work, he was working and, vice versa. But he would come home in the morning. He would get his few hours in, but he made sure he was up at lunchtime so I could come over. And when I went over, he always had me lunch, whether he fixed it or bought it. He would always ask me what I wanted for lunch. And so we spent quite a few lunch dates at his place.
Yeah.
Oh, actually, the first time we met, we went to the restaurant. Was it the restaurant?
Yeah.
Yeah, we did. I'm sorry. We went to a restaurant.
Which I wasn't dressed and pressed then either.
He was not.
I like to dress, but I was just comfortable.
And he also said he wanted whoever he met to like him for him and not how he dressed or how he particularly looked. And so he
was testing you, huh? Did you show up in sweatpants and a holy t-shirt, sir?
Another raggedy t-shirt. What was it? It was an old t-shirt and some jeans. And here I come all dressed up, my cute little dress on and everything.
Well, you was at work.
Well, yeah, I was at work, but I still dressed extra that day. He's going to come all dressed and looking cute and everything. No. He was like, he had on some slides, some keys, and an old t-shirt. And I'm thinking, okay, so he may not be interested. So we actually went to Bahama Breeze. That was the first. That before we started visiting his place was Bahama Breeze.
Right.
And even that first date, I thought, okay, I still wasn't really quite there yet. And because I felt like I did all the talking, he didn't say anything. And I was like, okay, this ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. This ain't gonna work. But he listened to me the entire time. But when we got out into the parking lot, I said, oh, that was really nice. I hope I get to see you again or whatever. He gave me a hug. But even still, I wasn't feeling it. It wasn't until I got back at work and he sent me a text and he said, I really enjoyed that. We got to do it again. And so that's when I said, okay. So then we started doing the lunch dates at his place, and we were doing that pretty regularly, like 3 or 4 times out of the week, right. Meeting at his place, having lunch.
So what about that first date, Ricky, made you want to see her again?
Just listening to her and how she communicated things out made me very interested. And of course, she was fine. So all the physicals were there, so yeah.
That don't hurt none, does it?
Not at all. Not at
all. So how long did you guys date before the engagement?
Years.
Years.
The funny thing is, because what I considered dating, Rick would always say, we're just hanging out, right? I'm like, what? Hanging out? Years later, we just hanging out. And I'm thinking, okay, so we just hanging out. So he was kind of like in and out. And then eventually I said one day, it's like, it's either you're in or you're out. You got to figure out what you want to do. And I knew that he wasn't ready to get married or anything like that. And neither was I. Neither one of us really weren't. I think we really were looking more for companionship in the beginning because we both had been single for some time.
Right.
And so it was fine with me that we didn't get married right away. So we just enjoyed each other's company. That was the most important. And it was years before I even introduced him to my daughters still. They knew of Mr. Rick, but they didn't see Mr. Rick for a long time because I wasn't sure what he wanted to do. And that was very important to me.
Yeah. So then what made you finally put a ring on it, good sir? What made it happen?
Well, if I know if I didn't, somebody else was going to, and I didn't want to lose it.
Hey.
So yeah. And even before putting it on, I was still getting cold feet, but I went ahead and moved forward.
Oh. So now you guys have been married 5 years. You tell me you're about to turn 59, you're about to turn 60. What would you say to other people that are now over 40, over 50, not sure about love really happening for them? They're just as busy. They have so many things. They got grown kids. They got bills. They have impact. They have community service. They got sorority. They got their frat brothers. They got their meetings. They have so many things that are filling up their schedule. Like, what would you say to that person?
Well, what I would say is take a chance. Because that's basically what I did. Because again, like I said, I had my daughters. I was already busy. So I had to step out and just take a chance and see what it was going to be like, because I really wasn't familiar with the online dating thing at all. So I took the chance. 2, I knew I had to find someone that was going to be compatible as far as, I'm busy, I'm involved in things, even now with my sorority and all that stuff. Rick is more very laid back. He's not involved in any of those things. He goes to work, he's come home, and he's fine with that. But he still allows me to be me. He allows me to do the things that I enjoy. He allows me to come and go to the events that I have and all the meetings that I have, and I'm always online. And in addition to that, I have a business at home. So I have a room that I'm in, which is also my at-home office now. So he says I'm always in that room, which is true. But if he if he doesn't like it, he doesn't voice it. He'll say, you're always in that room, but he doesn't get upset about it. He's not mad about it. He knows that that's who I am. He knows that I was busy before he met me. He knows I was involved before he met me. He knew all those things. And so I couldn't be with someone that was gonna complain about me always on the go, spending time with my girls, or busy doing this or busy doing that, because that's who I was before you met me. Right. And so he accepted that. And so that was very important to me.
Nice. What about you?
Like she said, I'm laid back, I I play a lot of golf, but mostly I'm work, home, resting, laid back.
What would you tell somebody else who's thinking about dating?
Well, take a chance. Like she said, it's out there. You just have to be open to it. You can't be closed off to it.
Yeah.
And a lot of comments that people make, because I have some friends that, say they tried dating online. Oh, it was horrible. It was a disaster. They say all the negative things. And I believe that some of those things are true. However, there are some good people still out there. So if you don't meet them on the first day or you don't meet them on the second day, maybe not even the third day, there still are some decent people out there. Right. To me, it's basically kind of the same as dating people in person, as if you were to go to a club. You go to a club, you date someone for 2-3 weeks and you find out they're crazy. Same thing if you met them online. Then to me, there's no difference. It's the only difference is you met them at a club or in person as opposed to you met them online. So it's the same thing. You got to weed them out. You got to figure out which ones are the good ones, which ones are the bad ones. Same thing. You're just doing it virtually. You're just doing it online. You just kind of, but the good thing about doing it online, finding someone online is, if you don't want to be bothered, you can delete them or you can block them or do whatever you want to do. And that's it. Whereas in person, sometimes you get some crazies that end up being stalkers or whatever. You don't have to really necessarily worry about that too much, as long as you're not putting too much information online. But you can kind of weed it out who you want and who you don't want online. So it was an easy task for me because, like I said, it only took a couple of weeks. I eyeballed him and kind of knew right away after, a few dates and stuff, but I didn't have to go through a whole lot. I talked to a few, but not a lot, because I could tell immediately who I wanted versus who I didn't want. So it wasn't as hard as I thought it was going to be. Again, like I said, whoever is thinking about it, and again, age is just a number. Neither one of us consider ourselves old even now. And y'all kids every now and then may say something, y'all getting old, but we don't feel that way at all. We're both very, we do our own thing. We enjoy what we do. And we enjoy each other. We've had the usuals, ups and downs.
But at the end, we come together and it works out.
We do. Yeah. So we know that
what do you do to have fun as a busy woman, right? As a man who likes his golf, like, how do you guys come together to have fun? Like, what does that look like?
Well, we'll go on trips. The usual, we'll go to dinner and just hang out at home, just enjoy each other.
Oh, you actually hang out at home. So you turn off the devices and you look at each other and
we do marriage seminars and all that good stuff.
Yeah. That's good.
Recently more so have gotten involved with a friend of ours from church who started a marriage challenge online. So every couple of weeks she has these different challenges, and we've been getting involved in those. Have really been a lot of fun. She even had a Valentine's Day party on Valentine's Day, and that was fun. Even last night we had movie night. Just the two of us and my oldest daughter, who's home from school. We watched the Coming to America 2 movie together and had a bunch of junk food. And that was fun. We just sat here and laughed and joked about that. We're very into family. Well, I am more so family traditions, taking a family portrait every year, the traditional Thanksgiving dinner, and mostly everything is at our house. So we do a lot of family things together. So we do enjoy that. Both our girls are in college right now, so they're away from home. His daughter is a lot older, so we do get a little time to ourselves, but we do enjoy family as well. So
that's beautiful. I appreciate you guys so much for just coming and sharing your stories. So just for everyone who's tuning in, listen, love can still happen at any age.
Right?
Absolutely. Like, literally, love can happen at any age. So if somebody wanted to get in touch with you guys, how could they find you? Do you have an Instagram? How do people find you in the atmosphere?
I am on Facebook, both on Facebook, Robyn L. King, and I'm also on Instagram, Redbird316.
Okay.
And so you can find me there.
All right.
Me, Facebook, Ricky King, and that's it.
That's it. All right, y'all. We appreciate you so much. And for those tuning in and that are like, oh my gosh, dating profiles, I do have a dating profile audit. You could go to the website, inspiremany.com, click on the store and go down to the audit so that we can help you out in terms of getting your profile up. Okay. Thank you guys so much for
You're
joining us.
welcome.
And for those
Yes.
listening in, till next time, continue to love, continue to laugh, and continue to live. Have a great one.
Okay.